Welcome to Surferqua's one-on-one conversation with me, Andrew Mazaiwana, where we are currently unpacking the economic impact on COVID-19 on businesses across the world. The business that we're going to be focusing on today is in the largest city in Scotland and is one of the largest seaports in the world, which is Glasgow. And the kind of business we're going to be looking at is in the car service industry, a business that focuses on providing exceptional customer service and positive customer experience in order to drive profit and gain competitive advantage. And to unpack this conversation today with me, joining me for this conversation is Andrew Duthie. Andrew, how do I pronounce your surname? I'm all the way in South Africa. How do I pronounce it properly, please? Will you help me?
Duthie, D-U-T-I-E. Good morning.
What I want to do is butcher your surname. So Andrew Duthie, the director of A for Audi. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, and yourself?
Fine. Under the circumstances, perfectly good.
Circumstances, exactly. Before we continue, can you tell us from your mouth basically what your business is about?
We specialise, we do service and maintenance on VAG products, mainly Audi, along with the Volkswagen and Seat stuff, but mainly Audi, BMW and Porsche. Yeah. So service and maintenance and specialty work on these particular cars.
So you're a service specialist? We
are. We do servicing on cars from a year old backwards, specifically concentrating on these particular cars. We don't tend to be a jack of all trades, so we understand every nut and bolt on these particular cars, which effectively gets a good result for the customer and ourselves.
That's great, because that's you get more focus when you get one thing right. And we here at Surferqua know and believe that you believe in ensuring that the job you do is done exceptionally well and that your customers are satisfied with the services that they're given. But what I wanted to know is, what reaction did you have when you first found out about COVID-19?
Well, like everybody else, we were watching the news carefully and we were taking guidance from the government prior to the lockdown. Week commencing, I think maybe 16th of March, it was becoming where we were aware that things were getting a bit serious. We had undertaken the social distancing measures within the business, so our technicians were separated. You know, our two-coaster lifts were far enough apart to allow us to operate from that point of view. We changed internally some of the processes to allow our administration staff to be separate. But more importantly, our customers, when they come in, we could only allow in 2 at any one time, looking after the 2-meter rule, if you like. So that operated like that for a few days. And then we got into week commencing the 23rd, if I remember rightly, which was the Prime Minister's announcement at 8 o'clock on the Monday evening, which effectively told most businesses to shut down as quickly as possible. Now, our industry, garages, if you like, albeit that's a bit wavy, but garages were allowed to remain open. The showroom side of our businesses had to close. So myself and our founder and MD, we had a meeting or a talk, if you like, that evening for an hour or two, and we made our decision. We had an idea what we wanted to do, or if we had to do, but really the decision was we would close. We believed that was the moral thing to do, the right thing to do. We were obviously concerned for our staff. That was our key issue. Our technicians and our administration parts guys are important to us, and we thought, well, let's do the right thing for them and our families, and of course the customers as well. So we took a view we would close. So the next day we communicated with them on WhatsApp group that evening, saying, look, come to work tomorrow. We'll give you we'll meet with you then and let you know exactly how we're going to play this. But we needed to shut the business down. The challenge we had was we had potentially 40 odd cars with us. Maybe 20, 23 cars that were already work in progress, with a further 20 due that morning. So we needed to communicate pretty quickly with the customers that were due in and potentially the ones that would walk in the door. Yeah. So we started early that morning. We were making outbound calls to cancel. Some people had obviously seen the announcement previously and took a view that we would be closing, so they called us. So we managed to clear away probably, or cancel off maybe 15 of the 20 odd bookings. 5 arrived, and I think we took out about 22 cars we got out that day, which left us perhaps 7 or 8 cars on the premises, of which 4 of them came from main dealers. So we do a lot of main dealer work for them as well. So we then had to try and communicate with the main dealer saying, look, we've got your customers' cars here. That might be a potential issue, but they were great. They were in exactly the same position as we were. So all in all, everyone worked pretty hard that day to allow us to shut down. We communicated by text with some customers, etc. as well, and we eventually shut down about 4 o'clock that day, and that was that really. So at that point in time, I'm pretty sure that those who were due in for the next weeks, or the preceding weeks of bookings, would have understood what was going on. We obviously updated social media, websites, etc., explaining where we were.
I think that's good. You were really lucky that people were cooperating with you, and so were your business partners and the people that you worked with understood the situation and were able to allow you that time and the time needed to actually get what you need to do done, and understood what needed to be done. The other question I'd have for you is, what do you think the effect of COVID-19 has had specifically on the service industry?
Enormous, frankly. It's severe. There's been multiple changes in the short term. Obviously, cash flow for companies not being able to operate, that's a major one for everybody. There's been some government support, which is clearly welcome across the network. There are people, it becomes what's really important. For example, MOTs were due in our country. We've got to have the cars checked in a specific way every year after its 3rd birthday, and that's a legal requirement. So there were issues round about whether there could be MOTs. They were falling due. Technically, you'd be breaking the rules if you drove your car, but really, when you think about it, is it that important that an MOT is due versus somebody's life? So there were 1 or 2 niggling problems that were going to be overcome but initially the government had made no change in that stance. They have now, where they relaxed the ruling, and they put initially they put a birthday on that for 6 months. They delayed that, and that's under currently. So the initial requirement to go and get that MOT, for example, didn't really happen. It wasn't an issue. There are questions around warranties. What happens if my car is under warranty and it's due service work, or it's due a warranty claim? But again, most of the manufacturers that I've looked at, the ones that we deal with, have all come to the party. Many of them have extended warranty or service periods for maybe 3 months. I think it's 2,000 miles. Some have said, under no illusion, do not worry about that. We will look after you outside, once this is over. Some have taken it to the end of June. So really, there's no immediate panic from the customer's point of view. But there are, of course, emergencies. We look after doctors, nurses, scientists, all sorts of people who are currently working on behalf of the government, actually. So there are situations like that whereby we've put people in courtesy cars to keep them going. We've done what we can in between time. So whilst we were closed, in the short term, there was a few calls. What can you do for? In actual fact, I was looking this morning, and there's been over 6,500 missed calls on our system in the period we've been shut. So I'll give you an idea of, people that want to communicate with us and what's involved. So interesting times.
That is a lot, 600. That is a big number of people that have been trying to get a hold of you, which is
I told a lie. It was 6,176 to be exact.
The number just went up. So with that said, what new processes have you developed in order to try and maybe cater for your customers during this lockdown? Is there anything that you've started that you've had to start?
Well, the majority knew that during the bulk of the shutdown, we decided to take the decision to close many businesses. I'm involved with some Facebook of professional automotive people that are doing the same thing. Some of the main dealers, rightly so, have stayed open to look after, especially commercial vehicles, ambulances, etc., to keep them going. But there was enough from that point of view. We were getting some calls, what if, but we dealt with all of these. So in that 3-week period, we decided the right thing to do was to close. However, since then, after the 3 weeks up, we took a view that we would try and open with a skeleton crew. So our MD, who is hands-on, Andy, he decided that he would go and work. We took in one of our receptionists and one of our technicians. So we're able to do skeleton work and do work, particularly for emergencies, which has worked fairly well. We communicated with perhaps 2,000 people by text to let them know what we were planning. We kind of hand selected as best we could with that, with the data we had quickly. And that went off absolutely fine. So we are being a bit picky about what we take in. We don't, we're not doing performance remaps, for example. We thought that sits aside, but we will look after the emergencies. So at the moment, that's going fine. It's got traction. And we'll review every 2 days perhaps, and then we'll feed in a technician as and when we've got the work for them.
And you answered my very next question. You completely covered it all, because I was going to say, as of 5 days ago, you have been operating at a very much reduced capacity, which you said, and obviously within the government guidelines. And this is only for the existing customers, with priority given to the frontline workers or essential services rather. And my question was going to be, has this been working for you? Which you've said it has been working. Why do you think it's been working for you? What makes your business different from everybody else's? Because you seem to be getting it right.
I'm not sure that we're different from everybody else. I think everybody, if those who have got the capability or / the resource to do it, could perhaps do it. It really depends on our customer base. We've got a very loyal customer base, perhaps 12,000 plus 12, 15,000. So we've got a specific customer base who know us fairly well and they trust us. So we're not trying to get out and get new business. We're not looking for somebody to come to us for the first time. What we're saying is, if you're a key worker in the front line, we will look after you. Inherently, we'll get people who will walk in and we'll deal with that as we go. But generally speaking, we don't have to go looking for it. Once they know we're open, they'll come. Well, it's happening now. It's exactly what's happening at the moment. We are fielding calls constantly. So much so that we will likely engage. I think we'll put another technician in tomorrow. And then again, we'll just continue to do that over the coming weeks.
And I think people are very grateful for that. The fact that you are making sure that those people are attended to first. They really do need to be, because they are out there doing all the essential work that needs to be done. But then what happens to the regular person that needs to come through afterwards? You did say that your line, you've got over 6,100 people that are trying to get a hold of you. Post lockdown, as soon as it ends, how are you going to deal with that influx? Do you have something in place? Do your current customers know what they should do or how it's going to work after you're done?
Well, the 6,000 plus calls, that could be the same people call once or twice, etc., etc. So it's probably not 6,000 people. Having said that, because the lockdown initially there was a potential for the lockdown not to happen after 3 weeks, which really wasn't going to happen, but that would have then again had people calling. I'm fairly sure also that we know that now people know we're opening. The problem we've got is we've only got one receptionist on. So if she's on a call now, then she's going to struggle to take two at the same time. She's clever, but she can't do that. So we're going to be missing calls at the moment. But again, we're making a lot of outbound calls as well in between times to try and deal with the ones that had left messages. There's a lot of messages, a lot of email, inbound inquiries, so I could see the change in them. Initially, the emails were saying, I realise you're closed, but could you contact me when you come back? That's now come to, we now you're open, I realise you'll be busy, but can I book in for whenever? So, as I said, purely from the loyalty of the customers, they know that we'll get to them the minute we can, we will do that. As I said, at the moment, it's majority's key workers, frontline staff, and that is keeping us going, well.
No, well, thank you for that, because I think that's what everybody wants to know, is what's going to happen after this. Obviously, because they can't come to you now and essential workers come first, I think the panic then would be, my car has been sitting and it needed service before this started. And now when it ends, I'm still not going to go first. So I'm glad you clarified that for us. I appreciate the time that you have taken out to explain to people how you're working as a business and the business plan that you've decided to take in order to cater for the people during COVID-19 time. The only other thing I'd ask you is, do you have a message out there for people that are at home and wanting to know, that you feel they need to know, or you would like to send a message to them?
Well, one of the most important things for us now is how we go back. It's going to look very different when people return. The way we operate will change. Now, whether it will change forever or not, I don't know. I mean, I've been around the block a few times now, so I've seen different things. I've never seen anything quite like this. Our processes internally now will change as the way we deal with customers will change. So as it stands now, where we can take bookings online or by phone, we prefer to have conversations with people to be generally get the booking right on that particular. By doing it that way, you get the right booking for the right thing. But now it's purely contactless. So when the customer arrives now, they do not enter the premises. There's a specific area for them to put their keys through. There's an area whereby they can clean the keys with a particular type of wipe. There's a bin to dispose of that. Their keys go into a key drop. We get the keys on the other side. There's a safe key drop there. We pick it up from there. The job's done, it's allocated. The technicians now are using, well, they did before, but they're using even more, stereo covers, gear knob covers, seat covers. We will do the work. We will then return the keys back. They'll be cleaned. They get put into a safe deposit box outside with a digital PIN. We then contact the customers. They then settle their account online, on the phone, in the bank, whatever they like to do. When they come back, there's a delivery bay now. So when they go back, the car's in a specific area. They're given the PIN to remove their keys from the safe, and they take their keys. They don't actually see us or touch us. And that way, hopefully, we'll keep them safe and obviously looking after our own team as well, which is vital.
Very well done. That process is very detailed, and I'm sure people are happy to know that you guys are trying to keep it as safe as possible, not only for yourselves, but as your customers as well. You guys are a well-established business that is well accredited, and it's good to hear from you guys.
Thank you.
What reasons that you've had in place for us. So we really appreciate it as Surfer Cars that you take the time out and speak with us and let us know, as the people that we look to for assistance in a time like this, that you have something planned and it's going well. So I really do appreciate your time, Andrew.
Sure, thanks. I appreciate the time as well, of course. I hope everything goes well for you across there.
We definitely will. And it's nice to hear, what's happening in all the businesses around the world, because panic is happening everywhere. And it's nice to hear how everybody else, especially businesses like yourself that have been doing well for a long time, what plans you are taking in order to make sure your business does not suffer, and also to make sure that your customers don't lose faith or stop coming to you, and that you are still able to assist in the things that you are doing to assist. So thank you very much for that. Thank you guys for watching at home. We appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, either for myself or for Andrew during this lockdown period and what's going to happen afterwards, please make sure you either drop us a message or like and share the page if you do. My name is Andrew Mazawana from Surfer Cars, and Andrew Duthie, the director for Audi. Thank you for joining us today, guys. Continue watching. Thank you and goodbye.